Let's take a look at the chart action for the coins that I am watching. So this video is going to be a little bit different. We're going to do a longer format, and I kind of want to check out how the YouTube chapters work. So I figure that what I could do is do just the chapters of the different coins, and I'll try to go through more coins than usual. So if you want to skip ahead to a certain coin, there's going to be some chapters below, and you can go to those ones if you're interested in those ones. All right, let's check this out. Okay, we're looking at the total crypto market cap. We're on the 4-hour time frame right now, and the main thing that I'm watching is this downtrend right here. We have resistance right here and resistance right here. Downtrend, something like that. Until we break this downtrend going to the upside, I'm going to assume that we're going to get resistance and we're going to keep trending down, and I'm going to be watching these Fibonacci retracement levels that we set up from the bottom of the trend to the top of the trend. So I'll be watching the 38% level and the 50% level mainly, but we also might want to keep an eye out for this level and even possibly this level. So I don't know for sure if we're going to go down to these lower levels, but for now I'm watching the 50 and the 38%. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm thinking, is until we break this one, then I'm watching these levels. So if you look right here, we're zoomed in on the 4-hour time frame, and we got support right there on the 38% level, came down, got support again right there on the 38% level, came down there, got a little bit of resistance, and then dropped down, hit that 50% level, got a bounce, and then broke through the 38% level, and kind of around the 50% level we bounced again. Basically, we're getting support at these levels, or we have got previous support at these levels right there, pretty much something like that. All those pretty much supports right there, and in that area right there. So that's why I like to watch these Fibonacci retracement levels pretty much. Right now, if we go into like the 1-hour time frame, I think we can kind of see that we have an uptrend going something like this. Let's see how long we can keep this momentum going to the upside. This is the 1-hour time frame though, so until we start doing it like on the 4-hour time frame, we got a couple candles on the 4-hour time frame, so we're starting a small trend. But yeah, let's see how long we can keep this momentum going to the upside, something like this. We have this 9 moving average coming in right here. It looks like we're about to test it. I think if we could break through that, we might get a little bump up, and we might be coming up to this level. Let's see if we can keep this momentum going to the upside right now in the smaller time frame. Like I said, I'm really curious when we're going to break this line right here. It's possible that we come up and break it right now, but it's also possible we come up and get rejected and come back down. Let's see if we even get that far though. We have this 9 moving average right here. Okay, let's take a look at the chart action for Bitcoin. So there's a couple things that we could talk about, but the main thing that I'm looking at is the resistance right here, and I'll probably be talking about this on all the coins or most of them. We have resistance right there and resistance right there. We have a downtrend going something like this. Until we break this downtrend going to the upside, something like that, then I'm figuring that we're heading down. Let's pretty much delete everything and we can kind of see what's going on. I had limit orders set at the 38% level and the 50% level. We hit those, and we came up to our resistance level, came back down, and then we hit the 50% level, something like that. But let's start from scratch so I could kind of show you what I'm kind of looking at. So we just deleted everything. Basically, we got we had our big uptrend like this. We had an uptrend something like this. We broke that right here. Ever since then, I set up Fibonacci retracement levels from the bottom to the top, something like that. Then that gives us some limit orders to watch once we break our trend line going to the downside. So what I do is I take some profits right here, and then I start setting up limit orders at the 38% level and the 50% level. So the next thing we do is watch. So we have resistance right here and resistance right here, pretty much what I've been talking about. Now we have a resistance, something like that. So that's the main thing we're pretty much watching, is until we break this trend line going to the upside, something like that. We also have some support right here and maybe some support right here though. So maybe we could do a bottom trend line, something like this possibly. So we're also kind of looking at maybe like a falling wedge. Like I said, once we break this one going to the upside, that's going to be our bullish signal pretty much. Until then, I'm watching the 38% level and the 50% level. And as you can see, we've got bounces right there on the 38% level, and then we came down here. We've been getting support on this 50% level. It looks like we're coming back down to retest it now possibly. Let's see. If we go to the 4-hour time frame, it looks a little different. But yeah, we have some upwards momentum right now. Let's see if we can keep that going and maybe come back and retest this trend line up here. I think in the small smaller time frame, we could watch basically on the 4-hour time frame. We're watching this 9 moving average. I'll be watching this 9 moving average. Let's see if we come up and we could break through it, or if it gives us resistance and we have to kind of get pushed back down. That's the main thing that I'll be watching in the smaller time frame though. Okay, let's take a look at the Bitcoin dominance real quick. So we have this triangle pattern right here. We're on the weekly time frame. So this is a big time frame. So we had this big old huge triangle pattern, something like that. We broke that going to the downside right there. Pretty much altcoin season. And ever since then, I've been watching these previous bottoms right here. I drew these bottom orange lines right there, and we came down and hit the first one right here, and then we got a bounce, and then we got resistance right here, and we started coming back down, and it looks like we're getting support again. So like I said, like I've been kind of talking about on my channel, these orange lines is where I'm going to be starting to watch Bitcoin a little more than I am the altcoins, especially for these bounces, something like that. And as you can see, we're getting resistance. We have this downtrend going something like this. We're on the weekly. Let's switch to the daily. We get a better like look at it. So we do have a downtrend, and it does still look like it's trending down a little bit, but it also looks like we're kind of breaking that trend, something like that. It looks like we got some support right here, getting a little bit of support right there. Let's see if we could keep that going or not. But in general, if this chart is moving to the upside, that means that Bitcoin is pretty much taking over, and like all the money is going into Bitcoin pretty much, or that's, I mean, it's Bitcoin dominant, so Bitcoin is the one that's dominating all the altcoins pretty much, the market cap. So once this chart starts to move up, you're going to be wanting to watch Bitcoin. That's what I'm going to be thinking in general. If we delete this trend line right here, we could see that we have this 9 moving average right here as well. And we are clearly below that 9 moving average. We broke above it right here, but couldn't stay above it, broke back below it. I think once we can do that, let's take a look at the monthly. We're underneath the monthly as well. I think if we could break above the monthly, that might be the good sign that we're looking for. So we might even want to wait for that as well. So yeah, I don't know. In general, it looks like Bitcoin is trending down compared to the altcoins. So yeah, in general, with the Bitcoin dominance, I'm watching these orange lines, previous resistance levels, and the main thing I'm watching is this monthly, and this monthly 9 moving average right here. Let's see when we break above this, like we broke above it right here, and start getting that huge run. Until then, I'm figuring that it might give us some resistance, and we're going to have to keep on watching it. This is a monthly time frame, so it's going to be a huge time frame. And it's possible that in one of these other time frames, we start coming back up sooner than we think. So yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Like I was talking about on that daily time frame, we have this downtrend right here, and it looks like we're kind of breaking it. Let's see if these orange lines will hold support. In general, it looks like we got support right there and a little bit of support right there. Let's see if we can keep that support going. If you guys like the video so far, hit that thumbs up button. Let me know what you think. Let's see what's going on with Ethereum. Let's take a look at the chart action for Ethereum. Okay, so the main thing that I'm watching, this chart looks pretty similar to Bitcoin, and I'll kind of do the same thing that I did before. So we have our resistance right here and resistance right here. This is the main thing that I'm watching. We have our downtrend going something like this. Until we break this downtrend going to the upside, then I'm figuring that it's going to be, we're in a downtrend pretty much. So what I do is I have my Fibonacci retracements from the top to the bottom, and I have limit orders set at the 38% level and the 50% level. If we start trending down, I'll take profits and I'll set them back up again. And basically, let's kind of delete everything and we can kind of go through that again. So we have our uptrend like this. When we broke that, going to the downside right here, we did a Fibonacci retracement level, something like this from the bottom to the top. Then we have limit orders to watch, 38% level and 50% level. If we start going lower, we could even hit the 61% level. We got really close and actually came really close to that 61% level, but we actually are, I don't know. I would say we're going to watch the 61% level as well on this chart. So, and that's the thing. Some charts retrace down more than others. Some bounce at the red line, some bounce at the yellow line, some bounce at the green one. And yeah, that's basically what I'm watching. I don't know where or if we're going to get a bounce. In general, what I'm watching, like I said, is this downtrend. All right, so one more thing I want to show you is the moving averages. And with these, I don't know, it's like bullish on the bigger time frames, but like the bigger time frame, but the smaller time frames, it's kind of bearish. So right now we're on the daily time frame. We're underneath the 9 moving average right here. We have the 180 moving average giving us some support for right now. But if we go up to, like, in general, we've been kind of going in and out of this 9 moving average on the daily. So let's move up to the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, this one's actually been pretty significant. We broke above it. It's been giving us some support. We broke below it right here, and then we had that little mini bear trend, like little bear market, should I say. We were trending down for a while pretty much, and then we broke back above it, and we got that little bull trend, or that bull market, and it looks like we broke back below it. So I'm kind of curious how long this is going to last. We have 2 days and 3 hours to get back above this 9 moving average, sitting at around 3276 or somewhere around there, maybe 3232, something like that. So let's see if we could break back above this 9 moving average. We still have a couple days to do it before this candle closes. And if it does, then it'll just look like a wick, and then the body will be up here. But if we close below it, then it's going to be a red candle below this 9 moving average. And then we'll probably want to watch the next week to see if we keep going red and have to retest these previous support levels, maybe something like that. This previous support is sitting around 1873. This is the weekly time frame, so it's a pretty big time frame. But if we go to the monthly time frame, this is what I also wanted to show you. We actually really don't want to break above this 9 moving average, because as you can see, this is pretty much the bull market. We broke above it right here, and we've been bouncing on it as support ever since then. So I think, and then we also tested it a couple times right here. We wicked below it right there, but we didn't stay below it. So let's see if we could keep getting support on this 9 moving average right here. We really do not want to break below this 9 moving average on any of these charts, really. And I'm just looking at it on Ethereum right now, but I'm sure it probably looks similar to Bitcoin. It probably looks similar on the Bitcoin chart. So yeah, below it on the weekly, we have a couple days to get back above it. That will be good, but on the monthly, it looks like we still have some support on that. We're still above that. Bullish on the monthly, but a little bit bearish on the weekly and on the daily still. What I'm doing is watching this downtrend right here. Once we break that, then I'll get bullish again. And in general, I'm watching this Fibonacci retracement levels for limit orders. And let's see if we could even come down and maybe even hit these ones. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. We're looking at Ethereum compared to Bitcoin. And we've been looking at this chart on my channel for a while. And we have this big uptrend going something like this. We actually had support right here and support right here, giving me this uptrend something like this. It looks like we are really testing it right now. It actually looks like we're breaking through it pretty much, or we actually have broken through it, but we got support on it. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see if this keeps trending down or if we hold support on it and it keeps trending to the upside. Because if this chart is going down, it's Ethereum showing weakness against Bitcoin. But like I said, I've been talking about this big uptrend like this. I think if we break this trend line right here, we might be seeing Bitcoin come in and take some momentum away from Ethereum. I'm not sure. It looks like it is still holding support right now, but we are going to want to keep an eye on this chart. We're on the daily time frame right now, so yeah, that's basically what I'm watching with Ethereum. Or basically, if this chart is going down, we're going to be wanting to watch Bitcoin more than Ethereum. And if it starts going up again, then we're going to be wanting to watch Ethereum more than Bitcoin. All right, let me know what you think about Ethereum. If you like Ethereum, hit that thumbs up button. Okay, hopefully you're still here. Let's check out Cardano. All right, let's take a look at the chart action for Cardano. So this chart looks similar but different. So we had our big uptrend right here. We broke that going to the downside right there. Ever since then, we got a Fibonacci retracement and we set up the limit orders. Same thing as the rest of the coins. Set up my limit orders at 50%, 38%, and the 61%. And these are sitting around 2.32, 207, and 1.82. So we didn't hit the 182, but we hit the 50%. We hit that one right there, and then we hit it right here. And then we were hitting the 38% level, like we hit it a bunch of times. This one was pretty cool because it actually I actually took profits. And so anyways, we hit at the 38% level a bunch of times, and then we came up, hit our resistance level that we were watching. We have resistance right here, resistance right here. We had a downtrend, something like that in general. So like I was saying, this one looks very similar to the other charts. Let's delete everything so we can kind of get a fresh look at it though. We have our downtrend, something like this, and we have basically our bottom, maybe something like this. So we're kind of in a down channel, maybe a falling wedge pattern, something like that. We also have this 180 moving average just on the 4-hour time frame, so this might give us some resistance if we could break out of this trend line right here. But like in general, like I was saying, it's similar, but it's kind of different, as in we are getting way closer to testing this top trend line on Cardano than we were on the other ones pretty much. And if we go into the daily time frame, we are actually above the 9 moving average for now. Anyways, we did break above it. Let's see if we can stay above it. Maybe we can get a pump to the upside. Maybe we could break out of this trend line right here and retest maybe these previous resistance levels, something like that. So I'd probably be targeting maybe 2.64 or maybe 2.96 if we could get a breakout out of this trend line right there, maybe something like that. In general, we could do as well is we have support right here, or actually we had support right here and it kind of broke that one. But maybe something like this now, until we break this one going to the downside. That would be give us a signal. I guess you could argue that we had one going like this and we already broke that. But yeah, let's see if we could break. The main one we want to watch is this one right here. Until we break this downtrend going to the upside, I'm figuring that it's still going to give us resistance and we might come back down. But this pattern does look pretty good as a falling wedge pattern. And like I said, what I would do is target previous resistance levels, something like that. Okay, let's jump over to Cardano versus Ethereum. So if this chart is going up, that's good for Cardano. If this chart is going down, it's good for Ethereum. And we have this little pattern forming. It looks like a flag pattern. It looks pretty good. So we have resistance right here, resistance right here. We have support right here, support right here, support right here. We had a big run up like this. It looks like a flag pattern, maybe something like that. I guess we could be conservative about it and target it as a falling wedge and just do previous resistance levels for now. But it's possible we might be looking at a target of something like this. I mean, let's see what kind of volume we get right now in this area. It looks like there's some green candles, but it's not super hardcore. So yeah, we're going to want to keep an eye on that. We might want to be just targeting the previous resistance levels for now. But in general, it does look like we are breaking out of this little pattern right here, which is good for Cardano. I'm kind of curious if we can if we start moving up on this chart, if we're going to start moving up on the Cardano versus Cardano USD chart or whatever. So yeah, I think if this chart's moving up, then it's going to be good momentum for Cardano in general. And like I said, it's Cardano versus Ethereum. So yeah, we're going to want to keep an eye on that. And also, if we zoom out a little bit, we have resistance right here, resistance right here. It looks like we're coming up on another resistance. It looks like we're coming up on another resistance line. If we could break through that, that'll be also bullish. So we're going to want to keep an eye on this chart. It's looking pretty decent for Cardano right now, actually. I'm kind of curious if this flag pattern is going to play out. We're going to want to keep an eye on the volume, though. Okay, so if we jump over to Cardano versus Bitcoin, we're on the 4-hour time frame. Let's go to the daily time frame and see what we have. So if we zoom out a little bit, you can see that Cardano has been doing really good against Bitcoin, and it looks like we're kind of in this maybe channel pattern, something like this. We have resistance right here, support right here, support right here. So I'm looking at pretty much a channel pattern. Let's see what's going on right now. Pretty much since we hit our resistance level, we've been trending down. But it also looks, I don't know, let's kind of delete everything and do new tops. So we have resistance right here and resistance right here. We can maybe do a top, something like that. We might be watching that trend line because it looks like we're getting some momentum going to the upside in the smaller time frame, but in the bigger time frame, it looks like we do have a downtrend, something like that. So maybe watch this chart as well. As long as we're moving to the upside right here, this is good for Cardano, but we might come into resistance right here and we might start trending down, or we might test it and break out of it. Who knows? But in general, I will be watching it as a resistance level because we got resistance right here and resistance right here. This chart doesn't look as great as the Ethereum chart does, but we do have some momentum going to the upside compared to Bitcoin. Let me know what you think about Cardano. If you like Cardano, hit that thumbs up button. Alright, let's take a look at the chart action for Dogecoin. I haven't really been paying as much attention to Dogecoin because it's been kind of trending down and it hasn't really been performing as good as the other coins. So we basically had the same thing. We had our uptrend. It was a little bit different. It was something like that, and then we had another one, something like that. We broke this uptrend going to the downside right there, and ever since then, we've been skeptical or set up our Fibonacci retracements from the top to the bottom, something like that. And check it out. We're already at the 78% level on Dogecoin. So what I'm doing, instead of watching those levels, what I'm doing is watching the previous supports or the previous bottoms. So we had a bottom right there and a bottom right there. What I'm doing right now is setting up limit orders at .195 and .170, something like that. And yeah, we have a big downtrend, something like this. We also have another one, maybe something like even like this possibly. I mean, we have resistance right here and resistance all right here, which is giving us another downtrend, which is going even harder. And I've been getting kind of faked out on Dogecoin a couple times here. I think I put in limit orders at these levels where we were kind of pumping to the upside, but it hasn't really been pumping as much as the other ones when they were pumping. It's been just kind of trending down. So right now what I'm looking at, previous bottoms, something like this. Hopefully we can get some support on these levels, but in general, that's pretty much what I'm watching. Let's see what happens. We wicked down right here and came up after that. Wicked down right here, came up after that, wicked right here, basically support. So let's see if we could keep that support going. If not, we might be looking at these bottom levels, something down here, which is kind of scary. This is around maybe 5 cents, something around there, maybe back down to those levels if we keep trending down. We're going to have to wait and see, but for right now, it doesn't, I don't know. I'm kind of going light on Dogecoin, and I haven't, like I said, I haven't really been paying attention to it. Haven't been showing it that much love because of how much it's been trending down. But like I said, let's see if we could get support on .195 or .17. Who knows? Not going big on this, but just kind of seeing if we can get some support. I still have Dogecoin, and I'm still planning on holding it. All right, so if we jump over to Dogecoin versus Bitcoin, here's what I'm looking at. Basically, we have some downtrends going like this. If we break these downtrends going to the upside, it's a good sign for Dogecoin. And we have this downtrend going right here. It looks like we're testing it right now. The other thing I've been watching for a while is we had support right there. I drew this orange horizontal line and we got support on it again right there. And it looks like we're holding support on it right now. What I'm thinking though is if we could break this trend line going to the upside, it's going to be good for Dogecoin. If we break this support line going to the downside, it's going to be bad for Dogecoin. And it looks like we're coming up to that point of choosing which way we're going to go pretty soon. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a big move on Dogecoin coming up pretty soon. That's just my speculation. I think if we break to the upside, we have this 180 moving average on the daily time frame that might give us some resistance. We might come up there and it might not even be that big of a move. And we also have this downtrend, something like that. We might have to come up and retest that. But yeah, so we might see a small move going to the upside, or we might see a big move going to the downside. We're going to have to wait and see, but it does look like we're coming up on that point of choosing which way we're going to go pretty soon. All right, let's take a look at the chart action for Atom or Cosmos. So what we have here is a pretty crazy chart. It's actually hit all-time highs recently, and ever since, every high that we're hitting, I'm pretty much doing a Fibonacci retracement because I'm not sure where we're going to break to the downside. And I have my limit order set up at 36.34, 31.10, 26.86, 22.63. I'm not sure how far it's going to go down or even if it's going to go down. It looks like, I'm not sure. Right now, it looks like we have some good momentum, and I'm basically just watching it in the smaller time frame. So I guess we could pretty much delete everything because it's kind of a mess right now. So now that we know the limit orders at 36.46, 31.128, and 26.902, 22.65, we could delete everything. And let's kind of redo the chart. I mean, in the smaller time frame, what I'm looking at is we have this main resistance right here, and it looks like we got resistance right here, but it also looks like we're breaking out of that resistance right there. So let's do something like that. We also have a bottom right here and a bottom right here. Let's do something like this. This actually looks like a triangle pattern, maybe something like that. Maybe we could target from the top to the bottom of this triangle, drag that to the breakout, and we're looking at a target of approximately 52.28 maybe. We are getting a little bit of green candles, but it also looks like the volume's declining a little bit. So what I would do with this, instead of targeting that triangle target right there, I would kind of just be targeting this previous resistance, this previous top, pretty much. If we top out right here, that's going to be a double top, and that's going to be a signal that we're going to be kind of rolling over and maybe starting to wanting to look for more of those Fibonacci retracement levels. Like I said, we had those Fibonacci retracement levels. Let me bring them back. We came down, filled the 23% level. We came down, filled the 38% level. We haven't filled the 50% level. But still, those Fibonacci levels are good to watch when you're looking at taking profits and covering your shorts. All right, so in general, what I'm watching on Cosmos on the smaller time frame is this support right here and this support right here. We have an uptrend going something like this. We can basically watch this uptrend going up until we break this uptrend. Going to the downside like that. I'm figuring that we might be trending up, but I'm also watching this previous resistance right there, or this previous top, should I say. So we might be looking at something like this. I think if we could break above this top, maybe that'll be a bullish signal and we could start trending up some more. But what I'll be mainly watching is this trend line right here on the 4-hour time frame, I guess. Let's see how far we can keep this momentum going to the upside. Alright, so let's take a look at the chart action for Solana. Alright, so Solana had a big, huge uptrend, something like that. We broke that uptrend going to the downside right there. Set up Fibonacci retracement and got some limit orders to watch. 50% level, 38% level, and 61% level. We hit the 38% level, then we hit the 50% level, got a bounce, and now we came back down and hit the 61% level. In general, what I'm watching right now is we have resistance, 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 support, 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 something like that. It looks like a falling wedge, something like that. I think if we could break this downtrend going to the upside, we're going to be targeting the previous resistances, something like that. Maybe target around 170 or maybe around 211. All right, let's take a look at the chart action for Polkadot now. So basically, very similar thing, guys. We had a big uptrend right here, broke that uptrend going to the downside, set up Fibonacci retracement levels, got some limit orders to watch. So I'm watching the 38% level, 50% level, and 61% level. These levels are sitting around 27.98, 24.58, and 21.18. Basically, what I'm watching though in general is we have resistance right here, resistance right here, resistance right here. We have a downtrend going something like that. Until we break this downtrend going to the upside, I'm figuring we're in a downtrend, and I'm watching out for my limit orders pretty much. Alright, so we're back on the total crypto market cap. In general, like I've been talking about, we have a big downtrend in the bigger time frame, and I'm watching that until we break that going to the upside. I'm figuring we're trending down, but if we look on the smaller time frame, we have a small little uptrend going something like this. Let's see how far this can keep the momentum going to the upside. Maybe we can come up and retest this, but yeah, this is on the 1 hour time frame, so I'm not putting too much stock into this. I really want to see us break this big downtrend right there going to the upside more than anything. All right, let me know what you guys think of this long video. If you guys are still here, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.